Hello, I'm Sophie.
I'm Nicholas.
And I'm Rose.
And we're the Buddies Commission.
Yay!
So we're gonna go over some questions. This is the informative section. First question is, how did your team work together? So in the Best Buddies Commission, what we did is we collaborated a lot with the ideas that we had, and we communicated and texted each other and split up the work. We're like, okay, you do this, you make the posters, someone else makes the balloons, and that's how we really collaborated and we worked together, and it was a success for us. The next question is, what leadership strategies, skills did you use while implementing your ideas?
That's a good question. We use planning sheets, and we plan out our sheets with these project planning sheets, and just use them to organize and plan our events. We also broadcast our events to to this system we have in leadership, where we can broadcast our events, and then and we just use other methods and just wrote down. We also wrote down or planned out most of our events in the beginning of the year. And even though most of the events haven't been happening yet, we've still been doing a good job planning and trying.
Also, some leadership strategies that we used was communicating, like I said, and collaborating on our work, and So how did your group create their game plan for events? Like Nicholas said, we had a project planner. What we did is we wrote out, so our first event was Special Olympics, so we wrote out what we needed for Special Olympics, what the date was, what schools were coming and all that. And even though that event got canceled, we still had a good game plan for it. Also, what we did was for lunch bunches, we would write out the dates. Like in the beginning of the year, we wrote out the dates of what dates that we should have lunch bunches, and even though that didn't work out as well, I think we were successful with writing out the dates and finding out like when should the underclassmen go and when should the upperclassmen go. Next question is, describe your methods of communication to each other, the class, and the school.
Communicating to each other, we would like text each other when we had events and like make sure we talked every day in class. And just like make sure all three of us were on the same page at all times, so like we all knew what was going on. And with the class, we would have announcement with the classes, and we'd like leave messages on the board like for when everyone had to go for like lunch bunches and everything, and we'd go around to the groups and tell them when we had Special Olympics, so that everyone knew what was going on with our commission. And with the school, we would talk to the teachers so that the teachers like could tell us what was going on, and we could tell them what was going on, and we'd make posters for around the school so that everyone knew what was going on.
My overall experience in Best Buddies was that it was fun and it was a great experience that I had. I never expected to have so much fun in a commission. The one thing I wish that would happen though was I wish that there was more Special Olympics and there was more to do in the commission, because I feel like so many things got canceled.
My overall experience in the Buddies Commission was that it was really fun, and it's a really good experience, like being able to work with all the kids and getting to work with Nicholas every day was like really fun and a good experience, and we three of us all got really close, I feel like, and it was, yeah, it's just a really good experience. But I do wish, like Rose said, that we had more to do, because this is my second year in this commission, and I feel like last year we had a lot more to do, because most of our Special Olympics got canceled, so it wasn't like we had that much to do.
Well, in the few Special Olympics that we did have, I had so much fun helping with the kids, and we just encouraging them and just helping them play soccer and to get out and just have fun and enjoy them grow and be able to be active and have the special ed kids be like the rest of us kids and I also love being able to help with this the special lunches and get to know more people. I mean, I think next time we need to make sure to help everyone be trained how to handle special ed kids, so they can communicate with them more and be able to handle them the right way. And I think I also had a good experience hanging out with my commission. I think we are going close. I mean, even though none of them are gonna be here next year. I mean, it'll be sad. It'll be sad to see them go, but we had a good experience. Yeah.
So in the beginning of the year, a typical day in leadership would be for us to come in and look into our binders and start taking notes and seeing when the Special Olympics would be, when the lunch bunches would be, like the activities calendar, and make sure that we're writing the right dates. Then later on in the year, when Special Olympics started to get canceled, we didn't really have anything to do. So we'd pretty much go and like help other commissions with like posters or make our rally posters for that like month or something. It was just hard on us because we didn't really have a lot to do because of the Special Olympics getting canceled. And yeah.
Well, Rose already covered like what we did in the beginning of the year, because like that was when we did like most of our work. But now we pretty much just, like she said, like go around and help other commissions, because our commission doesn't have that much to do. But we like help like student appreciation and like make posters for the rally for PR and like teacher appreciation. We pretty much just go around and see if anyone needs anything and help out. And yeah.
Well, most of the time when we had events to do, we just took notes and just like Rose and Sophie said, we kept on looking and hearing when the next Special Olympics will be coming out, when the next lunch bunch will be coming out, or when other special activities come up. It has been going great at the beginning, but unfortunately, near the end, when Special Olympics events started getting canceled, all we had to do was mostly just sit around the commission, don't really do any much, just talk and help with other commissioners and other leadership activities. Yeah.
This year being leader, I think for me it's meant like a lot. I felt like I was really involved with the school this year, And my one goal for freshman year was to be in leadership and to be involved and be in the rallies and like help out with the rallies and make posters and just be in the class. So being a leader this year meant a lot. I feel like I learned a lot of skills like communicating effectively and just doing more group work and everything.
Being a leader has meant a lot to me because I feel like leadership as a class has really helped me like step outside my box and like learn how to like talk to people and like be an actual leader and like get comfortable with things that I wouldn't normally be comfortable with. So it's really helped me like experience new things and try new things.
Being a leader means and, helping people, helping kids, and helping special ed people because that's what that's what our job was in our commission. We helped with all the special ed events, and I remember that I really wanted to be in leadership. With leadership because I wanted to help people and be able to give back to my community and just also to people who helped me and my special needs and yeah, so yeah.
My goal for this year was to do as many events as possible in our commission, and I felt that we did meet we did meet half of that goal. I just mean like it just because it was hard for us to plan any more events just because Special Olympics got canceled and that was like the main event that our commission would always have. Lunch bunches, we did have a couple of lunch bunches, but it was just hard to have people come, and even though we said it was like for your grade, it's just hard to get people involved. But I felt that we met most of the goal. I just wish that there was more participation in having people come to Special Olympics or having people to come to lunch bunches in our class.
I'm not really sure what my goal was this year, but like just to have a good year, I guess. But I feel like this wasn't like the best leadership year like for our commission because like we wanted to do a lot this year. Like in the beginning we were really like motivated and everything, but then like when everything started to get canceled, like last year we had a lot of dances and Special Olympics and all that, but this year everything got canceled and we couldn't like there was no really way to like do anything about it because like it wasn't our choice to like we weren't the ones canceling them, so like there was nothing we could really do about it. And like the kids in our class like wouldn't show up to the lunch bunches, and like even if they did show up, they like didn't really know how to act or talk with the kids, so like it was really hard. And like I feel like a lot of the kids in the class didn't take our commission like seriously. Like when we'd say like to come to the lunch bunches, like they just wouldn't show up, and like they didn't really like listen to us. So I feel like that was something I wish would be different or could have been different this year.
Yes, because and I was able to help and at a few of those special Olympic events and I know my goal was to I don't think I had a specific goal, but I just wanted to give to the community. So I feel like I helped a lot during Special Olympics and just helping the kids. Like people helped me, and I also did a good job making sure that there's communication towards this special ed community because I'm a teacher. Because to me, being leadership, I'm able to make sure there's communication outside leadership and people know about all the events. And I was able to have despite the canceling, I was able to have a great time in leadership. It was very fun. Yeah.
This year I've learned that, well, I've known that I procrastinate a lot, but this year especially I've learned how to like manage my time better, I guess, like, and like learn to work with my procrastination, and yeah.
This year I learned, like Sophie said, I learned that I procrastinate a lot, but even with my procrastination, I can still get the job done. Even though sometimes I might be lazy and stuff like that, I can get the job done by the deadline. I also learned that I can communicate well with my group members and other people in the class, like let them know that, oh, Special Olympics is coming up or lunch brunches are coming up.
I've learned that I work well with kids, and I enjoy working with Special Olympics, and yeah.
I think my number one leadership skill is communication, because I used to be really shy, but now I like know how to talk to people, and like I can talk to people I don't really know, or like communicate with the class, or like students that I don't really know, and like I'm not afraid to like talk to other students and like try to get everyone involved. And so I think communication is something that I'm good with.
My number one leadership skill has been meeting deadlines and being able to do the work by the deadline. Like, even though I have so much going on in school, I'll still come in and do the work, make the posters, and spread the word around that the event is coming up just to meet that deadline. I think that's like my number one leadership skill.
My number one leadership skill is people working skills, because I like talking to people, and I know how to have conversations with them, and I able to so I'm able to communicate and tell people when events are coming up, and work with the kids for Special Olympics and stuff, and help with special ed kids. Yeah.
An area of leadership this year that was difficult for me was like trying to come up with events or like things that we could do that were like not things that we had already. Like, we were trying to like think of new things to do, and that was something that was really hard for me, because I don't know, I'm just not very good at like reaching out where there's nothing and like coming up with something. So that's something I want to work on next year.
This year, something that was difficult for me was like having our events actually following through, and also what was difficult was communicating with Club United, because every time we would email the teachers, no one would really give us a reply back, like when we wanted to do something or we wanted to help out with like one of their dances or something. So that was something really difficult this year that I hope next year can somehow be better and not as difficult.
An area of leadership that's difficult for me is, and I think time managing, because I think there's some times that I should have got some work done that I maybe procrastinated or didn't do it on the exact day or something. Maybe communication also.
I think our biggest accomplishment this year, for our commission at least, was the Special Olympics that did follow through. I think we did a really good job with like communicating with the teachers, like for what posters we needed to make, and we made all the posters, and like it was a good turnout, and like everything just went well with the whole process. And like as a class leader, I think we did well with like communicating with the class, and even when we weren't doing like something for our commission, the three of us like went out and helped other groups and commissions and made sure we could help and contribute to the class.
I think our biggest accomplishment was the very first Special Olympics, because we were able to make the posters for the schools that were coming. We were able to do the balloons for the schools, set up, and actually like contribute the whole thing, and it was kind of like our event. unlike the other ones which got canceled or they were more controlled by Club United. I think that one was like up there for us. Also, the lunch bunch that we didn't exactly do a lot because there was just so much going on that we never, like, the dates just never worked out and people didn't show up. But the very first lunch bunches that we did, I think, was a great accomplishment for us as well.
I think a big accomplishment is how we make the Special Olympics go on. Like, I know Special Olympics has been going on for a while this semester, but we were able to make it happen a couple Fridays ago, and it went well, and I was able to help out on that. And I think that's like a good accomplishment that I've done.
My favorite leadership quote is, "Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others." And I like that quote because, wait, hang on. Look at it again. Okay, I like this quote because it shows that being a leader isn't like being like a boss, like in charge of other people, but like it's someone that like will do the work with you and like make sure everyone's like okay and like lead the way, but not being a boss. And I think that relates to this year because in this class we have a lot of people like this that will like help you do your work and everything. And I just feel like it's a good quote to remember like in this class because it really does relate to the class a lot.
So my favorite leadership quote was, "Great leaders don't set out to be a leader, they set out to make a difference. It's never about the role, always about the goal." And I chose this quote because I feel like this year in the class you can see that there's people that don't just come in and like, oh yeah, I'm in leadership, and then don't do anything. Like everyone does something in the class. Everyone sets out to have a big goal and meet it by the end of the year. And I feel like this quote really relates to like our class because no one's just gonna go around and be like, yeah, I'm in leadership, but I don't really do anything. Like everyone does something and finishes their goal and reaches their goal, and that's why I chose this quote.
My favorite leadership quote is, leadership is not a position or a title. It is an action and example. And that means it isn't just a title, it's what you do and it's an example you make. I mean, that's what we think of it, and it relates because whatever we do in leadership, it affects other people, and if we're not being good leaders and we're in leadership, we're not being we don't deserve to be in leadership. Like we're not a good example for others. But if we do work hard, do continue to reach in the class, then we deserve to be leaders.
Okay, one thing I wish I knew was that like all of our Special Olympics and events were going to get canceled because that was something we couldn't control. But if I knew before that was going to happen, I would have really tried harder to think of other things we could have done and like come up with new events. Okay, so advice to the next people are to like just get your work done. Like don't procrastinate and like get your work done and like really try to like think outside of the box and like come up with new things because it'll turn out better.
One thing I wish I knew beginning leadership this year was, like Sophie said, I wish I knew that all of our events were going to get canceled because it was kind of a bummer, like not being able to do a lot this year. One thing I wish I did differently was being more involved, like actually thinking of other events to do and following through with all the lunch bunches and just having more to do in the Best Buddies Commission. And advice to leave with you guys is get your work done. Don't procrastinate. Like Sophie said, think outside of the box. Think of other events that you can plan, and don't just think that, oh, this one thing got canceled, so we're not gonna do anything anymore. Like, just keep working, and if Sabrina says do something, you do it. Don't just be like, oh, I'll do it like later, like next week. You gotta meet that deadline. And yeah.
Okay, so one thing you wish you knew.
Well, just like Sophie and Rose said, I wish we knew that our events will be canceled, so we can, and Corbin and I wasn't going to be doing that well, so we can just help them, and we can, we have to take over the events for ourselves, and just,
One thing you wish you could do differently.
I wish we could help manage the events, like, so we, like, I think we could make a better job making sure that Special Olympics happens, and also this really help our class be a leadership class, and the school be trained how to help with special kids, because with Special Olympics nice activity, it shouldn't be just to have fun with them, but we should learn how to interact especially with kids so we can help them, you know.
And advice to people next year.
And my advice is I try to really plan out at the beginning all these events, and make sure to make sure that these events don't get canceled, or don't get corrupted by coordinator or something. We make sure they happen, and just able to keep the word, and also get trained how to help special ed kids so they can have a good time, and you can help them.